She
Hello
is dedicated to
again.
using her talents to accelerate the transition to a more sustainable energy.
This is to confirm
Her talents to accelerate the transition to a more sustainable energy system.
the
Gabriel
concept
Becky,
that
professor of geosciences and director of the High Meadows Environmental Institute.
The essence of topic on recidivism earlier to verify its concept, but my resource is National Institute of Justice, NIJ, synthesizes it as to be one of most fundamental or obvious concepts in criminal justice under our CJS or societal criminal justice system, referring to persons' relapse into criminal behavior, meaning they redid criminal behaviors, often after person receives sanctions or undergoes intervention for previous crime. That there was already warning given. Recidivism is one of most fundamental concepts. Research containing it is embedded throughout NIJ. Sponsored the research in sentencing as it relates to crime committed, corrections in crimes, and desistance. Desistance. I might have to go back with the meaning with you on desistance, well as many policy intervention evaluations. Policy intervention that solves the issue of crime-related issues. Desistance. Let's see the definition of desistance. Desistance to cease to proceed or act, to stop the action. Court order to desist from selling products. To desist whatever, maybe the cease to proceed with the sanctions in criminal related issues. Numerous NIJ-funded studies of community supervision use recidivism as way to measure success. Supervision in instituting processes that need to be taken up so as to ensure safety after the sanctions were given and the crimes were recommitted. Or undergoes intervention, whatever those intervention might be, is a separate discussion. For previous crime, committed, previous crimes let me see. Previous or present or previous. For previous crimes, because it was redone. It was redone by the person. Ultimately, informing probation. Under probation. But for me, this is not gonna work. Because after the sanctions were given already, here are persons, perhaps subjects, with us. And then again, the criminal act was again committed. So it's really a question of educating. There should be a rehab instituted, education, anything sensible that makes him beware not to do the wrongful act again. Ultimately, informing probation and parole policy. Yeah, there could be deterrence. Recidivism is also concern for prison and jail administrators, as they are tasked with preparing incarcerated individuals for successful re-entry into community upon release. Okay. Let me see. I was thinking, parenthetically, I was at fault in giving you wrong definition earlier, that I said recidivism is tantamount to absenteeism. By now, without telling you, you know what it accurately means. Recidivism is also concern for prison and jail administrators, those who are assigned with what's the variable between the two, variation difference, as they are tasked with preparing incarcerated individuals for a successful reentry into community upon release. So what they are doing there is that they prepare criminal committers to have sort of a parole into community for release. Recidivism is often measured by criminal acts resulted in rearrests, reconviction, or return to incarceration. Incarceration meaning imprisonment with or without no sentence. Perhaps you have the same case, or perhaps you have a completely new case to face because you committed an entirely disparate a disparate uh, inducing nausea act during specific follow-up period following person's release, following your release. Follow up with your with there was an inquiry intervention as it relates to your primordial crime, but then you recommitted it, and so there's the recidivism occurring. Example, for 3 years post release. Horrible. Although harder to quantify, acts of misconduct that do not result in official sanctions may also be considered when measuring recidivism. What are those? Acts of misconduct that do not result in official sanctions. Such as maybe it is not official, but it's within the predilection and rightfully within the power of the judge. No lunch for him. Only breakfast and dinner. Additional with your heat temperature in jail. Maybe he took it against you. It might be that he physically know you, or you robbed him the wrong way during the internal proceeding. Because at all events, recidivism is crucial concept when considering core criminal justice topics of incapacitation or unable to this and that, whatever, hopeless already as it relates to normal human functionaries, specific deterrence, barred from carrying out specific items. Rehabilitation, as mentioned earlier, and desistance or the ceasing of proceedings of a specific procedure. Oh, incapacitation refers to effect of sanction that prevents people from committing crime in community through removal, often achieved by placing someone in jail, prison, or other custodial environment. In other words, you're under the guard of a particular trustee. Specific deterrence is theoretical, not pragmatically spirited, but theoretical concept experiencing sanction may discourage people from committing further crime. Maybe that it should be later only that it becomes applicability, because there should be a question of applicability as it relates to judge and inmates between their relationships. Rehabilitation refers to extent to which program is associated with ability to reduce crime and improve lives by addressing criminogenic risks and needs. Perhaps the criminal health risks and necessities of an inmate. The question of improving those. Next is desistance. It is procedural in nature, so as to cease engagement in criminal activities, referring to inmates. It's like a sanction. Understanding whether and how programs and principles deter recidivism through incapacitation, specific deterrence, and so on is vital for identifying effective evidence-based practices as it relates to the health of our societal criminal justice policies. My humble opinion is what? It's not like I'm a part of a convention wherein we come up with treaties because opinions are not taken. It should be legally binding in nature. At all events, what I would like to say with regard with this is really education, that it cannot be we just tolerate him because the tendency is he will just be thinking, I was pardoned, I did something wrong, and then there was sanctions, and now there's this reinvestigation. So in effect, I was there's the sense of being lenient still. So it cannot be that it is forever to be that way. So education for prevention of finalities, hopefully not death penalty, and other excruciatingly painful experience born out of ultimate sanction, ultimate punishments, deterrence, and pragmatic approaches. Babalos.